Hello students, good morning to all of you. So as we had started our chapter 4, that is authority, responsibility and accountability. And in this chapter, yesterday or in the previous video, we had discussed that what is the meaning and the definitions of authority, responsibility and accountability. Then we had discussed their relationship, that how these three terms are interrelated with each other, and then we had discussed the sources of authority. So today we will discuss the next three concepts of this chapter, that are the concept of delegation of authority, importance of delegation of authority, and last one, the principles of delegation of authority. So first of all, we will discuss some key terms like what is delegation, authority, responsibility and unity of command. So first of all, the delegation of authority and responsibility. As in the previous video, we had discussed that authority means the right, that the individual has a right to command the others, like the parents has a right to command their children. Likewise, teacher has a command or teacher has a right to instruct the students. Principal or the managers has a right to conduct or to give the orders to the teachers and students also. Likewise, in the other way, we had discussed the responsibility in the previous video. Like the responsibility means the right or the obligation of an individual to do a duty that is assigned by the higher authority. Like for example, like teacher gives us a test, so we have a responsibility that we have to do or we have to complete that test and submit to the teacher. So that is called as a responsibility. So now we will discuss in this today that the delegation of authority and responsibility. For example, like in schools we see that the principal there is, then vice principal, teachers, students, etc. Means these are the people that are involved in the school. So first of all, that as the control of the school is in the hands of the principal, who divides his duty to the vice principal, then the vice principal divides his duty to the teachers, and that is called as a delegation of authority and responsibility. Means first of all, there is a one person who has a right or who has a duty to do it. Then that duty is assigned to the lower people that the person has in his under. Right? So in this way, what he is doing, just delegating or dividing the duties into the other people. Likewise, we'll take an example on the business side. Like suppose there is a company A. Likewise, we can take another examples like Reliance Industries, Tata Groups, Infosys, all of these, and even the small general shops. This delegation is working or accepted there. Like in a company A, who manages the whole business with various departments like production, sales, marketing, purchase. These are some departments that were working in any of the organization. In the Reliance Industries, we see that there is a production, sales, marketing, purchase department are there. That means they divide the work in these departments. Mukesh Ambani divides the work of producing the goods and services to the production department, then selling the goods to the sale department, to advertise the product with the marketing department, purchases of a raw material or purchases of machinery, tools, equipments to the purchase department. Right? That means they were doing they were delegating the authority. in this way we can say that the delegation of authority means division of authority and powers downwards to the subordinates. Means superior is dividing his duties to the subordinates. Like first of all, there is a duty of the top management. Then they were dividing it to the middle level then divided it to the lower level, then lower level managers divided to the workers. So in this way authority is delegated downwards, and this is called as the delegation of authority. Next one is simply we can understand the meaning of authority, as we had discussed this topic in the previous video also. Like there are various examples. The teacher has the right to conduct a test in her class. The government has the right to make rules and regulations in the country. For example, like due to the disease COVID-19, government has made a rule to wear masks, use sanitizers, social distancing. Likewise, in a business, an owner has the right to give orders to his employees. That means this is the authority that the teacher, government or the businessman has, and they were divided or they have a right to command the others. So simply authority means the rights and the powers of an individual to command his subordinates to take decisions in workplace. Then the next one is responsibility. As again we had discussed this topic in the previous video, but we are revising it. So responsibility, simply we can say that students have to give their work on time to her or to his teachers. Then children has to obey the instructions of their parents and elders. Means an obligation or a duty that is or that has to be performed by the subordinates or by the people. So responsibility is a task or a job assigned and its effective completion in favor of an individual in an organization, and that is called as a responsibility. So next we will discuss that is unity of command. So now this is the new word that we are using in the further topic. So unity of command. For example, like if a child has some problem in school, then firstly he will go to his class teacher. Then if the problem is not solved, he will go to the vice principal. If again the problem will not solve, then that student will go to the principal, and that is called as a unity of command. Means first of all, any of the problem that is occur or that an individual feels, he has to go to his superior person. If that problem is not solved by that superior person, then he has to go to the higher authorities, and that is called as a unity of command. Likewise, in a business, if workers have a problem, then they will go to the trade union. If their trade union is unable to solve their problem, then the workers will go to their production manager, and if again the problem will not solve, then they will go to the further higher authorities. So simply we can say that this is a principle that states that there must be only one superior to a subordinate, and subordinate has to discuss their problems to their superior ones, and this is called as a unity of command. So now we will start our chapter or start our new topics, and our topic is delegation of authority. Means how the authority is divided in the next levels. So first of all, we will discuss the meaning of delegation, as we had discussed in the previous slides also, that suppose there is a company A which manages its whole business with various departments like production, sales, marketing, purchase. That means they have divided their work in these departments, and this is called as a delegation of authority. Like Reliance Industries, they have a various departments in their business, and the authority or the responsibility or the work is divided into that departments. And in this way, what they were using the delegation. So delegation of authority means division of authority and the powers downwards to the subordinates. Again, we will discuss the meaning of delegation of authority, that there are a number of activities undertaken in a business enterprise. Managers are assigned the responsibility of completing all the work in an organization. It is not easy that for a manager to perform all the business activities alone. So he divides the work among different employees working under him, and according to their skills, experience, and that is why we are using the delegation of authority in each and every business enterprise, so that the business enterprise can achieve their goals and objectives. So in this, employees are liable to perform their part and to put in more efforts for accomplishment of organizational objectives. Hence, accountability is fixed on these employees in a business firm to ensure effective and efficient performance from them. So simply, the delegation may be regarded as a process of providing authority and responsibility to the workers as per their skills and fixes their accountability towards work. And in this way, the delegation of authority is uses or have their uses in the various businesses. So now there is a question arise that why delegate? So the reasons for delegate are twofold: to help the manager and to help the subordinates, so that with the intention of strengthening the organization and improving its efficiency and performance at the same time. So now we will discuss the definition of delegation of authority. So first of all, the definition is that the delegation of authority merely means granting of authority to subordinates to operate within prescribed limits, means the limits that are provided by the managers or the superiors. In that limits, the subordinates have to work according to their authority and responsibility. Then in the next definition, that is, delegation of authority means assigning work to others and giving them authority to do it. And in this way, the work is done efficiently and effectively in the business, and the objectives of the organization is accomplished. So now we will discuss the importance of delegation of authority in every businesses. So first of all, that it provides effective management, then development of employees at work, motivate the employees, facilitates growth, better coordination, and basis of managerial hierarchy. So in this way, the importance of delegation of authority applies in various businesses. So first of all is that effective management. For example, like if an employee has a degree of MBA and in business he becomes manager of accounts department, that means he has experience and can work with his full capacity which leads to effective management. And this is called as a effective management, means we are giving the work according to their skills and their abilities, so that the work should be accomplished with some effectiveness. So delegation of authority ensures an effective management in any business organization by transferring authority along with responsibility to the employees belonging to different departments. It helps the employee to complete their tasks effectively and efficiently within time because they have a experience, they have a knowledge, they have a skills, and in this way they can work efficiently and effectively. Like an MBA person, MCOM person, they can easily handle the accounts department. So the second point of importance of delegation of authority is development of employees at work. For example, like CA or MBA person will handle the accounts department. Likewise, who has a degree in mass media, he will handle the marketing department, means which increases their efficiency and specialization and leads to the development of employees. Means when they were getting their specialization, they were getting the experience in their work, they will get the promotion, or it will help in increasing their salary. So in this way the employees were developing in the work with the help of delegation of authority and responsibility. So delegation is a process of providing authority to our employees as an equal proportion to responsibility. So in an organization, employees are delegated authority which increases their efficiency and enthusiasm. So now the third point of importance of delegation of authority is motivate the employees. For example, like implementing some sort of employee of the month program. Likewise, promising public recognition of employees who exceed expectations. Means these are some of the programs that were used by the businesses, and it will help the employees to motivate and to work with their efficiency and effectiveness. So delegation of authority motivates the employees at workplace to perform better and better for attaining their predetermined target. So when the employee of the month announced, it will provide the recognition to that employee. So in this way the employees were motivated and they will work with their full capacity. Now the fourth point is facilitates growth. For example, like employees have goals to get promotion, transfer, increase salary package, and this can be possible only by delegation of authority. Means when they were know that what they have to do in the business. So employees are delegated authority and responsibility as per their skills, experience and specialization in the business enterprise, and it helps in achieving their individual and organizational goals in time. After that, we have a better coordination as a point in the importance of delegation of authority. Like in this we can take an example. Suppose the owner of a company A gives work to his production department to make 50 shoes in 1 hour, and the manager of the production department has 5 employees under him, and he divides work among his 5 employees. That is, each employee has to make 10 shoes in an hour, and in this way the production department completes its work. Means one employee has to produce only 10 shoes. In this way each employee is eligible for their work, they have to work, and they were responsible for their work. So the process of delegation of authority and responsibility develops accountability of the employees in an organization. Means now if they were not completed their work, they will answerable to their manager. So this is called as a better coordination, and this will only available or only applied when the delegation of authority is there. Now the last point of importance of delegation of authority is basis of managerial hierarchy. So for example, like in this we can see that first of all there is a company management or the boss, then he handles the top management, middle management and first line management. After that the top management deals with the chairman, chairman deals with the vice president deals with board of directors, and then the other persons that are in business. Means the procedure of delegation of authority helps in determining a management hierarchy in an organization. It depicts who has to report and to whom it is to be made clearly. Like in this diagram you can see that regional manager has to or has responsible or has an accountable for their general manager. Then general manager is accountable to the middle management. So middle management again responsible for their company management. In this way the managerial work is accomplished in a business. So now the next topic is principles of delegation of authority. So in the principles of delegation of authority we have 5 principles that defines that how we can delegate the authority in the business. So first one is like defining the roles and functions to subordinates, to achieve the predetermined target, parity in between authority and responsibility, unity of command, and the last one is responsibility. So now we will discuss these points, that how these principles helps in the delegation of authority. Like first point is defining the roles and functions to subordinates. For example, like in business, production department knows that their function is to work to produce goods on time. Similarly, the purchase department has to purchase raw material, machines, equipment, tools. These are the things that are needed in the production of the goods and services. Likewise, sales department has to sell the goods of the business in the market and increase the sales. In this way, the functions are performed in the business. Like we can take an example of production of wheat. The farmer knows that he has to produce a wheat, he has to purchase the raw material like seeds, fertilizers from the market. In this way, he has responsible for his work. Farmer has some other persons and he will divide that work according to them. So it is essential for a manager to describe the duties assigned to the subordinates before delegating authority. Second one is to achieve a predetermined target. Like suppose the owner of company A gives work to his production department to make 50 shoes in 1 hour. We take an same example that we had discussed previously. So in this, the manager of the production department has 5 employees under him and he divides work amongst that 5 employees. That means each employee has to make 5 shoes in an hour. So this means first of all, owner delegate his authority to the production manager. Then the production manager delegate his authority to his employees. And in this way the target is achieved and on time. Means authorities are delegated to the subordinates to achieve a predetermined business target. Then the third principle is parity in between authority and responsibility. Means now we have to make a balance between the authority and responsibility. Because if responsibility without authority will make a subordinate ineffective as he cannot discharge his duties. Like if only the manager is responsible to do a whole work, then he is burdened. Similarly, if authority without responsibility will make subordinate irresponsible, means if he is or he has not to give or to not to accountable to some higher authority, then he will not work efficiently. Therefore, authority and responsibility should be coexistence. Then the fourth one is unity of command. As we had discussed previously in the key terms, that unity of command means that we have to report to our superior person. Like teacher has a right to solve the problem of his class students. Likewise, production manager is in charge of his employees. Means according to Fayol, a Henry Fayol, who gave this principle, he says that one person should receive orders from one superior or boss rather than a number of persons. Likewise, in this diagram you can see that this one person is giving the orders to two persons. Then this one person is giving the order to these two persons, and in this way the authority is delegated. He suggests that an individual should work and perform under the supervision and guidance of one boss and must be held accountable and answerable to him only. Means simply we can say that unity of command means that each and every employee has only a one boss where he has to answer of his questions. Means any of the work that he has done, he has to be accountable to that superior only. In case an employee receives orders from more than one superior or boss at a time, it may create conflicts and confusions only in the business. So the last principle of delegation of authority is responsibility. For example, like the responsibility to pay for a meal you ordered in a restaurant. Similarly, in a business, the responsibility is that the employees have to do work in time with their ability and efficiency. Means it is not required to entrust responsibilities on the subordinates. Authority comes along with the responsibility. So once the delegation of authority is made, it becomes the responsibility of manager to complete the task in time with their help of the employees. And in this way the responsibility is the another principle of delegation of authority. So today we had discussed the principles of delegation of authority, importance of delegation of authority, and the principles of the delegation of authority. And in these points we have discussed their principles, that how unity of command, responsibility, authority, and there is a balance between the responsibility and authority should be there, so that the business can achieve their goals and they can produce the goods on time. So this is all about today's topic. So now you have to write your question answers. So your first question is, state various principles of delegation of authority. Then your second question that you have to write in your copies is, why is delegation considered essential for effective organization? So go through the various other YouTube links where you can get the more knowledge of these topics, like the principles, importance of the delegation of authority.